Just a little backstory. The person we're doing the live with, I have been a fan for years, and it's really cool with social media because you can really see like the grind and the growth of somebody. And when I tell you, like, when this dude first started and came on the scene, I was like, oh, he's so funny. And just to see like how he's elevated that and platformed that, and now he has a radio show. So you know what? Without further ado, let's just have him on.
A substitute or something like that. And finally, when this social media thing blew up, this Instagram stuff and this Facebook, when I realized that I could build a platform for myself acting a complete fool, and when I started to do it live and stand up, and I got that ovations and standing ovations after I got off stage, I told myself, okay, this is how I want to eat. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
That's dope. So how did the voiceovers start? Like, was it just one day randomly, like you know, you were just doing it and you just put it on tape and you were like, oh, let me just put it up? Like, how did that all start?
Well, basically, when I first started out, I used to do sketch comedy. But the problem is a lot of my personal friends are not really into that. They're more serious type people. You know, they don't want to sit around and record you all day. And I didn't have access to videographers or anything like that. So I started looking up these apps. And the first application I found was an app called Yak It, a guy by the name of Kyle. He introduced me to this app called Yak It, and it gave me the ability to make mouths move and you could put voices in there. So when I got a hold of that, I started impersonating celebrities, and I started linking up with Instagram cartoon artists and stuff like that. And I started putting it on the internet, and it was just, when I realized that people love these impressions so much, and when I'm doing it through the actual individual's cutout or animation form, and I saw that they just adored it and thought it was hilarious, I just said, I can't turn back now, and I just kept cutting it up with that ever since then.
What was, I mean, obviously now at this point, you've built a following, you've gotten recognition. I mean, like yesterday you had Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx. So there's people that like, they know who Savvy is. Like, we know who Savvy is out here. For you, what was like the first moment where you were like, dang, like somebody that you either did a voiceover for or somebody like big time, like kind of shouted you out, gave you that acknowledgement? What was that experience like?
And that was huge. That was huge. And that at that point right there, that's when I realized that, because, you know, a lot of my personal friends, because I do this stuff so much, you know, people that's been knowing me over 10, 12 years, they're just used to me acting a fool all day. But the world was not. So I would be doing this stuff, and some of my personal friends would be like, oh, man, you got too much time on your hands, man. What you doing? What you doing? So I kept at it one day, and I was impersonating Michael Blackson, the comedian Michael Blackson. And I tagged him. And when I tagged the dude, he responded and DM'd me like, man, what is this shit? Like, you crazy.
What is this shit?
This shit is crazy, nigga. I'm going to repost these sheets. You know, and when he started reposting it and tagging me, I started getting mad love from there, and boom. And of course, he has his own following. So from that point, I said, okay, well, if it worked with Michael Blackson, let me impersonate Snoop Dogg and see if it works. So it took a while to get a hold of Snoop, but I kept doing it and kept doing it. And finally, he hit me up like, hey, cuz, that shit funny than a motherfucker, cuz. Hey, cuz, hey, send me all that shit, cuz. You know, and from that point, it just started growing and growing and growing. But you want to know where I hit gold, though?
Where?
I hit gold when I start doing the sports. That's what it just exploded from there. From there, it was just boom. Everybody.
I just remember how I found you was, I don't know if it was through the Explore page or something. It was one of your older videos, and it was like Russell Westbrook and like, you know, like different. And then it was the old school one. It was the MJ with like Phil Jackson and all them, the one that like the older one.
Oh, you found one of the throwbacks.
Yes, and like that, I was like, what? Like, who is this? Like, I had to like investigate, like, who is this guy? And the thing that I really enjoy about yours is sometimes I feel like, no shade, in the comedy space, especially in the social media space, because people are always trying to go viral. And I think sometimes they press too hard to go viral. And the thing that I love about you is I think it's so organic, and you just put so much out there that it's like, hey, what takes off, you know?
Right. And that's exactly what I do. You know, like you said, a lot of people will just aim towards going viral. that's not the tactic. I mean, if I go viral, that's absolutely great. That's great. But what I try to do though, Ashley, is I'll analyze a certain player. And I know that, you know, when you're in the league and you're in a professional athlete, you got restrictions on what you can and can't say. So I'll really analyze this interview and say, I think this dude really wanted to say this, but he can't say it. So by me being able to impersonate a substantial amount of people, I'll impersonate this dude and put the video out there and tag whatever team he's from and the player. And the people, they love that shit because they're like, man, you know what? I think he really wanted to say that. That shit is funny.
Yeah.
And if it goes viral, it goes viral. But if it doesn't, it's funny anyway. Who cares?
No, I think too, like, it's just like some of my personal favorites. I love the Kyrie one. Also too, your range, you know, because there's people that do impersonations and like it kind of sounds similar, but you have so many different ranges that you can go, like Kyrie, LeBron, Snoop, Stephen A. Like there's so, you know, and you know, high praise, but that's like an Eddie Murphy, you know, like up there with like that kind of impersonation.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Ashley. And I'm glad you said that because I believe that's what sets me apart from everybody else that's doing voice dubs on the internet. You know, there's so many people, not the individuals themselves that's doing the work, but there's trolls, like people that follow them and they'll come to my account. Oh, man, you trying to copy off what you call it. Oh, man, you doing the same thing, what you call it doing. Nah. The fact of the matter is, actually, we're all doing similar things if we're in that field. But what sets me apart is you guys don't sound like the people. You're just putting your regular voice in there, and it may be funny, but that's what makes me savvy, and that's what makes them them. You know, it puts me in my own lane in the whole thing.
Well, I think too, it's just, I mean, you have the voice down, but also too how you are able to match, especially in the sports clips, how you're able to match it up so smoothly, and it like you actually feel like is LeBron like dropping these F-bombs and like saying, you know,
is this dude really saying? You know what? I really want to know. I wish I could get a hold of that dude.
Who, LeBron?
Really, yeah. I just really want to ask
LeBron on the way. We got, you know, I got some connections that uninterrupted. We'll get LeBron on the way.
We got to, you know, and for the most part, Ashley, I just simply want to know, bro, have you seen this? I don't even care if you find this funny. I just want to know, have you seen it?
I agree. I think that's the other part too that people don't understand about content creators. Sometimes it's not always just about like the views and the likes. Like even me in the sports space, like when I do my hot takes, I talk about all these players. So I have so many dialogues behind the scenes that obviously you're not going to make public because you're trying to build and keep a relationship. But I could imagine for you, you just want to know like James Harden, like baby boo, yeah, reporter, like, you know, like what did you really think?
I just
or Tristan.
Tristan probably hates me.
I mean, Tristan's probably laughing like the rest of us.
Well, he could be, but you know, ever since he punched Draymond Green at that party, I was like, man, you know what? I don't want to run into Tristan.
Have you had that experience though, where like some of the athletes have been like, bro, you know, like they've been upset with some of the voiceovers, or have you found that it's mostly like in humor and in love, they're cool with it?
Honestly, so far, everybody that I've come in contact with has loved what I've been doing. Nobody's been offended. Nobody's been pissed off. At least as of late, they have.
Because I also think too, I think what comes across is there's no malice behind it. There's no like I'm trying to degrade.
Oh yeah.
It's real pure comedy. And what I love too about it, even the R. Kelly stuff, it's, you know, especially in this era that we're in too, which I think is good and bad, that we are more sensitive to certain things and we're more cautious and politically correct. But I think comedians have felt so much of the brunt of that, where they can't really just give their pure comedy because people are like, oh, no, you can't touch that anymore.
Yeah, it's scary because, I mean, you're at the point now to where you really have to be cautious about what you say and what you consider to be a joke. You know, you may have 90% of people laughing at you. Then you got 10% like, hey, man, that wasn't funny, man. Or such and such, man, you messing with people's lives out here, man. I've had people do that to me. Like one time with the Tristan Thompson thing, I made a joke. Some guy comes up, man, you messing with that man family, homie. I'm unfollowing you. Like, man, how in the hell am I messing with his family? I ain't the one out here.
You're like, Tristan already messing with his family. I'm just making light like everybody else.
That's like getting mad at the reporter when the news leaks. Like, come on, bro. Like, but nevertheless, though, Ashley, for the people that do love it, that's why I'm doing it.
Well,
That's
and
what I'm
I
doing.
think that's the thing too, where, you know, it for me, especially as somebody who works in the sports space, you know, it's like sports no longer is just between the lines. It is about the memes. It is about the comedy skits. It's about the culture, and there's so many more dimensions. And I think for me, I enjoy someone like yourself because it's like you add more texture to what we talk about, because we can only talk about, you know, there's 82 games, the season gets long, but then
Right.
having like a funny video of like, you know, LeBron the other day when LeBron was like, I'm gonna call you number 4, like
Right.
to have
I
stuff
mean,
like that,
I
it
don't even
makes
know
the
your name,
season.
man. I'm gonna call you number 4.
Okay, so let's do, okay, since I have you here, and obviously now if everybody knows, if there was any doubt that Savvy does all these voices, you're hearing it here. What are some of your, give me some impressions, give me, like, let's have a conversation, like
Okay, okay. I'll be Stephen A. Smith. You ask me a question. I'm gonna respond to it as if I'm Stephen.
Okay, Stephen A., do you feel like the Lakers need to part ways with Luke Walton?
Well, Ashley, I'm actually gonna tell you right now that first of all, they should have been parted ways with Luke Walton. Because Luke Walton, first of all, he didn't win the championship when he was in Golden State. That was Steve Kerr. And you brought him over to the Lakers, and he's made a mess with the Lakers. I would blame it on Magic Johnson, but it's his own Luke. They need to move on from Luke. LeBron James doesn't respect Luke Walton. And you don't respect Luke Walton. He just does not. So it's time to move on from Luke. Hire anybody. Hire me. Anybody to Luke Walton.
Okay, let's do LeBron. Let's do LeBron. LeBron, is AD on the way?
Well, you know, my boy is Rich Paul. That's his agent. And I had AD on my show, The Shop, on HBO. And when I talked to AD, he definitely on the way, man. I mean, they was trying to be petty over there in New Orleans. They didn't want to trade him, but they going to realize at the end of the season that man might walk away and they ain't going to get nothing, man. So AD is definitely on the way, man. You want to know why? Because I'm LeBron James.
That's my favorite. I'm LeBron James.
I'm LeBron James, man.
Okay. Okay, Snoop Dogg. I love your Snoop Dogg voice.
Oh, for sure. Everybody loves
Do you, so when you talk, okay, sidebar. When you talk to Snoop Dogg, is he like, do the impression in front of me? Like, does he say that?
You know, Snoop is he's one of the coolest, down to earth. It's hard to believe he's a gang member because this dude is one of the coolest people you can ever meet in your life. Now, the funny experience with Snoop Dogg, when that rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine got in all this trouble.
Yeah.
Snoop was real opinionated about that situation. And Snoop was like, he went on this rant saying like, man, you don't got no business telling nobody or whatever. So I did an impression of 6ix9ine talking to Snoop. And I put the TMZ logo on it and put it on my account.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Snoop or Snoop's camp must have thought it was real. So Snoop FaceTimed me. I pick up the phone, right? And he say, hey, cuz. He said, hey, was that you, cuz, or was that 6ix9ine? I said, that was me,
so
my
he
nigga.
Thought it was 6ix9ine responding to him? Oh.
He thought it was. And so I told him, I said, that was me, dog. He was like, man, you crazy than a motherfucking Savvy, cuz. I thought that was him, cuz. He said, man, you funny, cuz. I swear to God. And he was laughing so hard off that impression. You know, Snoop, out of all the people I've met, he may be one of the top 3 coolest celebrities that I've ever met. Shout out to Snoop Dogg.
Shout out to Snoop. When you were talking to him, did he take long puffs in between because he was hitting the blunt?
No, hey, you know what? Shockingly, he did not. I think when I spoke to him, he must have either been getting off the plane or being on the plane, because he was telling me like, yeah, cuz I'm getting ready to go to the Super Bowl, my nigga, but I just had to call you because I was finna get at cuz if that was him, my nigga. You tricked me, cuz.
Well, even like your 66. Well, the thing I like too is I think you've had so much success in the sports space, like doing these different, sports voiceovers. But even I think the 6ix9ine and then like the cartoon to go with it, like I know I can't fully ask you this because I know you got stuff working, but there's got to be a show, there's got to be something coming with you. Like you're too talented. Like I know you're probably in talks and doing different stuff, but like we got to be we got to elevate this situation because you're just that talented.
You know, we have to. I was recently contacted by a person that I respect so much. The writer for the Boondocks, creator of the Boondocks. He also
nice.
Created Black Dynamite for Adult Swim, working with Fuse TV. A guy by the name of Carl Jones. He contacted me, and I did some voiceovers for him for a new show that's going to be on Fuse TV called Sugar and Toys. I did the voice of Kanye West, Designer, J. Cole, a couple of other characters. So that was in the making with him, and he guaranteed me that you're definitely going to be back with this. But as far as my personal self, I've linked up with 2 animators out of the East Coast, and these little series that we're putting out, when you will see 6ix9ine or you'll see LeBron James, we're basically just testing it out. But from the reaction we've been getting, you better believe there's definitely something in the making. An animated series of anything trending or anything in the news is definitely coming.
No,
so
that
IGTV, YouTube near you.
No, I'm excited. Like I think that'll be dope. Okay, so also too, we got merch coming, right? And we got a store.
Oh, we definitely got merch coming.
Hold on, Demo voice. Get your merch. Get your merch. Get your merch.
Merch is on the way. Yeah, merch. Baby.
Savvy, you know I need one of those.
Oh, you already know I got you. Look, I'm about to have my guys ship this up and send it right to you as soon as the show is over. So make sure you DM me your hookup because it's coming. It's on the way.
On the way.
Yeah,
merch
baby.
Is on the way.
Merch is on the way.
Oh, what's also been your experience in shout out to our guy Alex Thomas. Great.
Oh,
this
shout out to Alex Thomas
too. Because Alex is so, I love Alex and he's such a humble dude, but he's really underrated for what he's done in this game, his longevity, what he is. And so what's your experience been like with you guys having now a radio show on Dash Radio?
Yeah, I agree that they not showing my boy Alex Thomas enough love. That man has been in some legendary films, Players Club with Bernie Mac, Jamie Foxx. He's did Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood with the Wayans brothers. He's written for the Fresh Prince. He had his own show at the Ha Ha, the Funny Don't Stop show in the Ha Ha, and now he's recently connected with me, and we have this show called the Funny Don't Stop show on Dash Radio every Tuesday from 8 to 9:30, and we've assembled amazing team, amazing funny team, a political team. Merged it all together, and it's just absolutely hilarious. Love the dude. He's really been looking out for me. You'll find very few elite comedians that's willing to put their arm around your neck like, come on, little bro, you're talented, come with me. And he's been one to do that.
And it was interesting because, I actually met Alex a couple of years ago at a golf tournament, and then ever since then, we've stayed in contact. But the thing, too, and this is how I know that you've got the sauce and you've got it, because when I was talking to Alex, he said, he said, especially being a comedian now, and no shade to any of the Instagram comedians and people that are doing that, but it's really easy to put together a 60-second edited clip. It's really hard to get on a stage in front of 300 people and make it work for 30 minutes. You
better believe it. You better believe it. That's a whole new animal.
And so the fact that, he sees so much in you and he's kind of co-signing, and I'm like, I already knew Savvy was on the way, but now I know he's on the way.
Definitely on the way. Definitely on the way. And I'm doing everything I can to catapult myself organically, whether it be working with comedians, stand-up comedy, social media content, the sports interviews like with you, and hopefully I'll get some more in the future. I'm just doing everything I can to brand myself and put myself out there, and I'm really going hard, and I'm trying to grab success by the chokehold 2019, and hopefully it comes.
No, you have to, and I'm telling you, somebody who's been, following you and just seeing the growth, and I the thing I respect about it is it's an organic hustle, and you really just put your head down, grinded, and you're doing the work. And that's the thing that people have to understand of when they see someone like yourself and they're like, how do you get to over 200,000 followers? How do you get, meetings with Snoop Dogg? It's putting out consistent work. And that's the thing I think is so great about you too, is you're so consistent. I mean, every day. The R. Kelly thing that broke a couple hours ago, and then you had something out. So trust me, people that work in this see it. Even if I know the fans see it. So you Savvy's on the way.
Savvy's on the way. Yeah, and it's a difficult thing to do, you know, because you know, life gets in the way too. We got things we need to do,
Exactly.
you know. But you have to entertain people. You have, basically, it's almost like a relationship. You start off, you're giving a woman flowers, you're taking them out to dinner. Then a year later, you're like, okay, you know, go get your own shit. You know, when it comes to social media, you have to continue to do what people love you for. So you have to find time to go sit aside an hour or two if you can. Look at what's trending, look at that current content, and put it out there. And I make time to do that because you got to do it.
I am curious about this, just kind of like the process. So when you see a clip that so what happens? Like, take me through the process. You see a clip that you like. How do you write out what you're going to say before you do it? Or like, how do you get the voice and everything to time up? Like, cause I'm like looking, I'm like, this is so spot on, but I know it's got to be a lot more complex than it looks.
Yeah,
you know?
it definitely is. I've been able to somewhat master the process of doing it, but it's a very complicated thing. You know, people think it's easy. It's not. So let that be a lesson to you guys out there that want to pay promo and want to say, hey man, why you charge so much? Because it's not easy. But this is basically what I do, Ashley. I have to find a way to make myself mobile, because if I had to be confined to a computer, I really never get anything done. Yeah. So I have this one app called Perfect Video. I'm also working with an app that's in the making called Muse. And what these apps allow you to do is they allow you to take 1 to 2 minute clips from Instagram or YouTube, and you basically put it on these apps, you mute it, and then you basically put the wordings and sound effects in as you go on to the video.
Nice.
So it may be something in there where LeBron James might say in the real video, like, yeah, man, my boys played a hell of a game. So I just basically mute that part and say, man, we played like shit out there today, man. You know, and once I see that it matches up with the lips, I'm like, okay, perfect, that works. Then after all of that is done, I have to go back and grab swish sound effects, squeaking Nikes on the floor sound effects, and when you put it all together, it sounds like just an epic, like production. I never even edited anything, right? That's
dope. Oh, this is cool. Dope. One day when I'm in LA or wherever, where are you based out of?
I'm right here in South LA.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get the hell out. I'm here though.
One day, I'm serious. One day, when I come up for LA, we gotta like link up, because I want to see like the production and like how this all goes down. We got to do that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I'll walk you through the whole process. You can do one of my reporter voices for me. We put it on.
I know. If you ever need a female voiceover voice, you know, I haven't like, you know, expanded all like that. But if you ever need a female voice, I hear your female reporter voices need a little work, just like a little work.
Yeah, they do. Because I try to talk like, but I just can't do it.
You're like, Mr. Harden, how did you feel?
Yeah, and you know, some people judge me for that too. They'll hit me up. Oh, you don't sound anything like a woman. Well, of course, I'm not a lady. Like, give me a break, man. Like, Jesus, doing the best I can.
Oh my gosh. Okay, can you do a little snippet of the R. Kelly thing? Because everybody keeps talking about that in the comments today.
You want me to show you, or you want me to actually?
Yeah. Can we show some of the R. Kelly?
Yeah, we definitely can.
When I watched that, I said, oh God. I said, now it's interesting too, is working in content. You kind of know like what's going to pop and what's going to be really good. I said, yeah, this is going to be big. This is going to be.
This one going to blow right here. Yeah. Somebody going to be mad at me, but it's going to blow. I had to pee and now I'm fighting for my fucking life. Everybody got to pee. Age ain't nothing but a fucking number. 14 is grown. Y'all trying to kill me. You're a pervert. I'm killing you, man. What about my music? I gave y'all Step in the Name of Love for y'all weddings.
For your weddings.
Who was trapped in the closet? Recording me peeing. That camera's gonna keep it rolling. Y'all gotta go check that video out, y'all. It's up right now.
I'm gonna repost it on my page. I'll probably post it on my page after that. But the funniest part was like because the thing about you that's so good too, and I really noticed this, is you have the subtleties in your videos. Like, yeah, you'll have but like the Gail little voiceover, like, you're a pervert. Like, you'll have the little subtleties in there that I'm like, that
That
is the mark of a true genius who really
yeah,
goes with the
it
craft,
makes a difference. Ashley, it makes a difference. A lot of people don't believe that it does. It does. Sometimes people you'll see in the comments. Sometimes people will tell you what they pay attention to. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people will say, "Oh, I like the sound of the net," or "I like the sound of the basketball actually dribbling when he's going down the court." People pay attention to the small details. And I continue to try to do that because, like I said, it's a competitive sport. It's a competitive craft. So you have to do something to set yourself aside from everybody else. And that's what I try to do.
No, I think the thing about you have your own lane, you have your thing, often, imitated, never replicated.
That's right. They can't do it.
So you
A lot
got
of people have
Savvy
found
on
out that they
the
can't do
way.
it.
Do you have a
Savvy's
theme
on the
song?
way.
We need to get a rapper. We need to get somebody to like do a song for you.
I totally agree, because that's one thing I can't do. I can do a lot of things, but I cannot sing. So
We need to get you like Savvy's back in the like
something, give me like an intro or something like that. I'll start YouTubing more if I had an intro.
So do you use YouTube or not, or mostly social?
I've been recently trying to use YouTube, but I haven't quite understood. I haven't got the grasp of how it works yet. So basically, what I don't get it. Like my subscribers on there, I got about 4,000, but my views are not good. About 300 views to 700. I just don't quite understand how it works.
Same. I literally am the same exact way of I can understand Instagram and the algorithm and like how I understand all that. The YouTube, I'm like, how do you contact people, or does something like, I'm the same exact way.
I don't even know how to hashtag on there. I just put the video up and leave it alone.
You need to just like put out a filler to like some young person who knows YouTube and be like, hey, like, I'll give you a shout out that can do that. Because I mean, sure, somebody would do that for you.
Yeah, and on top of that, Ashley, YouTube is cutting the checks.
Well, they are. See, this is my only thing. And if we're talking, and especially you understand this, being in the content space, and basically, it's about ownership and owning what you do. And the only thing for me, why I haven't really, because people tell me all the time, why don't you have a podcast? Why haven't you branched into YouTube? It's like, well, YouTube, yeah, they cut you a check, but it's still YouTube owns what you do.
Oh, it's theirs. Okay.
Like, you want to own your content. Like, you're putting in so much work, and people are showing up, not because it's YouTube, it's because it's Savvy. So you want to own that. And then even social media, I think people have to understand it's such a marketing tool now, where like me, when I started, I didn't plan out like, oh, I'm just gonna, distribute on social media. It just kind of happened that way. But then I said, okay, let me do this. And then that way, now I'm starting to get interest from like the bigger companies and the bigger brands through that. And then now it's like, okay, I can shift over this way,
Right. Absolutely. I understand exactly what you mean. And I believe that's probably why I stayed and focused so much on Instagram. There's been people that tried to sway me away from it. Hey, man, Instagram is not paying you. You putting out wonderful content, but they're not doing. I'm just going to continue to blow up where I've blown up, and branch off, like you said, into another direction where it's still mine, like where I still own them.
And also, too, the thing about Instagram that is, I think, amazing is you're able to build and form relationships with people who in other spaces you wouldn't. Like for me, especially in the sports space, and you vice versa, like working and doing this stuff, you're able to have direct access to people who before it's like either you got to go through their agent, their business manager, all of this. And there's so many steps. Like Instagram has eliminated so many of those steps.
Right. And I love that. I love that because you're always going to constantly have that man in the middle, or you're going to have that A&R or that manager you got to go through that's saying, hey, man, give me this. I'll give it to him. Or email me that. I'll email it to him. Instagram is going to give you direct access to the person you want to be in contact with. And that's one thing that I love about it.
No, I agree.
You're right.
Okay. So as we wrap it up, what is the main stuff you got going on? Obviously you're putting out content. People can follow you at savvy_musing. What else is going on? We got merch. We got the show. Right. Fill us in.
Right. Okay. Well, like I said, I got the merch coming. I'm in the process of taking my little money and building a store up out here. to put the merch in there. But right now I got the online store. You guys can find that store at SavvyWear_clothing, where you can just hit the swipe up link and purchase your SavvyWear gear. I'm also breaking off real strong this year in the stand-up comedy. I will be at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood 4/21. I believe that's Easter. You know, so put on your little Easter clothes and come see your boy if you're in Hollywood.
Come from church to get a laugh.
Yeah, go on from church and come get a laugh. Easter Sunday, I'll be at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. Beyond that, I have the cartoon that I've collaborated with Carl Jones and a bunch of other talented comedians that's going to be on Fuse TV real soon. I believe before this summer, called Sugar and Toys on Fuse TV. And also look forward to just the content that I'm going to continue to keep in you guys' face. And other than that, it's to be continued, but it won't stop.
This can't stop, won't stop. This is the other question I have for you. Do you like when people, like, if say your fans or your followers, they have a clip or something that they like, do you like them to tag you so you can see it? Like, what's the best way for people if they see something that they like and they want you to do a voiceover? Just tag you, DM you, like what's the best?
Yeah, you can tag me or DM it to me. A lot of the times it may take me a while to get back to you because I have so many DMs in there. But I have a lot of go-to people, because I can't see everything.
Exactly.
You know? So I actually like when people say, hey, man, did you see this? Do you see that? And then sometimes I'll be chilling, eating some lunch, and I'll be scrolling, and I'll say, okay, man, dope. I got to get that one. So, yeah, definitely, if you guys see something that y'all think needs to be sabotaged, DM it to me or tag me, and I'll definitely get on it.
Savvy, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I feel like, you know, this is dope. This is dope.
Yeah, and I appreciate it because you've interviewed some top people. Like I said, I've watched your YouTube. I've watched your live videos, and you've interviewed some big names, some major athletes. So for me to even be considered to be interviewed by you and throw me in that category with everybody else is dope. It's just absolutely dope, and I appreciate it. So
no,
to make sure you DM me your address so I can send you your shirt, because it's definitely on the way.
On the way. In one of my lives, I promise you, got my word right now, I'll rock the merch. Because Savvy's on the way.
On the way, yeah, baby.
Okay, so for the people, because they're going to be like, Ashley, can you send us out with a LeBron James? Can LeBron James say goodbye to us?
Definitely, man. I want to let y'all know, man, that this season, it wasn't really my fault.
Oh, sidebar. Are you guys going to make the playoffs or not?
Well, all I can do is speak for myself, Ashley. I don't believe we'll make the playoffs. We got like a 1% chance, but I'm definitely gonna beat LeBron James whether we make the playoffs or not. Because I'm LeBron James.
You'll still have Savannah.
Still have that. That's for sure.
Thank you so much, Savvy. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And,
absolutely.
Savvy on the way.
Savvy's on the way. Ashley's on the way. Yeah, baby.
I gotta go back and look at the R. Kelly thing after this again.
Dope. Yeah, I'm gonna go check it out myself too and look at them stats.
I gave y'all stuff in the name of love for your weddings.
For y'all wedding.
And you know what? If we're just being honest too, that is like one of the hardest things about this whole situation, and not taking anything away from like the victims and what's going on, but it's just like,
right, it's tough.
That is a cookout staple, and we cannot go back to it.
It's so hard. I don't know what people gonna do, and I guess they're gonna have to stick to the slide to the left. Slide to the right. But what's gonna happen when the kids graduate though? They can't play. They can't play. What's the song?
I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah, what are we gonna play now? I mean, it's messed up.
Bust down, Tatiana.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, bust down, Tatiana. Yeah, I want to see you bust down. I guess so. Cause
that's the new graduation anthem. Bust down, Tatiana.
Bust down. Shout out to Blueface. You have become the new graduation national anthem for these kids.
Yes. Shout out to Blueface. We'll get him his award. It's on the way.
We got you, Blue. Awards on the way.
Awards on the way. All right, bye. We gotta do another one of these soon. This was fun. We gotta do another one.
Dope. You ain't gotta do nothing but hit me up and it's going down. You better believe that.
All right. Bye, Savvy. Bye, everybody.